Good afternoon and welcome to the first episode of Film Room here dito sa bago nating channel, WomboXCombo Plus. And we have a very special guest. If you don't know who this man is by now, ewan ko na lang, I'm joined by the one and only TI5 Universe Aurora. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
By the time you're seeing this, the Fnatic team and together with Uni would have flown out for their tournament in ESL 1 Katowice, is it?
Katowice, yeah.
Right. So they'd be over there. You're watching this. Today is March 1. We're recording this on Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year. Yeah. So how are you? How are you so far?
I'm doing well, you know. We haven't had the greatest time in our recent qualifiers, but I think at least we're moving forward.
You took down one though.
Yeah, we won one of them.
Right.
It's a shame it couldn't have been one of the majors. But it's
right. You take what you can get.
You take what you can get. Yeah, that's true.
Right. So how are you feeling so far though with the team? How are you adjusting?
It's been up and down kind of thing. Cause like when I first joined the team, I felt like I was gelling really well, and then there was like a rough patch in between where I wasn't really sure how I should be, like what I should be doing for the team. But now I feel like we've kind of figured out something, and I hope that we can take it forward and just make it better.
All right. Well, it'll be fun watching this back in about 2 weeks when you'd have another tournament, right?
Yeah.
An actual LAN to sort of test that through.
Right.
But so for today, what we're going to do is for Film Room, what we're going to look at some games from your career. Try and see what you can remember from them. You know, what you feel about them. Maybe some of the plays that were happening, and hopefully our viewers can learn something. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So the first one, and I got to get this off. First, this is the first thing we need to check off the list. You know what's coming.
Right.
This is Toby's defining moment. This was my ringtone for a while. Here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dunk. It's the TI5 finals between EG and CDEC. We're going to be playing it from you a little bit from the start here. And let's see. So what do you remember from this? I know people who were commenting your game. There's Merlini, there's Winter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you look back on commentaries of games you've had, especially games like that, and do you agree most of the time with what people say?
For this particular event, I watched all of the all of the commentary because we won, right?
Right.
So I wanted to see what they said, and I don't know, from this event, 7 Mad, he was on our side. I feel like everyone else thought that CDEC was going to win, and he was our boy. You know, he thought that we were going to win all the way through. So
what did he say in particular? That sort of.
I just remember like a lot of the other commentators were like, CDEC has been so strong. They have all these strategies, and he's like, no, like EG, you know, they've got a solid strat. They have a better idea going into this series, and they're going to win. So
right.
That's what I remember from the commentary.
And I mean, looking back on it, he looked like a genius.
I mean,
right?
he's the coach of OG now, right? So
That's true.
He must have known something.
Right, and you're seeing right now we're in the draft section. This is the third and final game of the series, CDEC versus EG. And the first pick from CDEC was Clockwork, Lina. They banned out the Leshrac. The Techies was also banned out, but what do you think about that? Do you think, did they need to?
Yeah, they did.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Why so?
Because we had the best techie player in the world, man. Like we knew that Techies was broken going into the tournament, and
you had a plan for it.
Yeah, we always had a plan for it, and always Techies fit our team really well, and I think they knew that we wanted Techies. So.
Why is that, by the way? And there you are. You're on screen right now.
Yeah.
With that.
Well, most of the time for this team, Aoi was playing a really farmy position 4, and Techies fit him perfectly because he'd just sit in lane, and Fear would run around and make moves, and Aoi would sit in lane, farm creeps, set up kind of a base with his Techies, right. And it would just be extremely annoying to play against. Yeah.
Right, and this area of the map is now closed off.
Yeah.
Right. So that's one thing. So do you believe those people are saying like, oh, because I know right now where we are in the world, 2018, there's people on Reddit talking about, oh, Techies doesn't belong in the game, he's too unfun to play with. What do you think about that? Like, looking back.
It's a really infuriating hero to play against, for sure. I can't stand playing against him, but it was nice to see Techies on on a bigger stage because he doesn't really get to see a lot of spotlight. Because right now, I don't think he's even in captain's mode right now.
Right.
So I mean, it was cool to see him. Hope he stays out of captain.
Yeah, well, keep him out. It's nice. It's nice just having him around. Just don't let him in the door. So right now, CDEC, they're gonna pick out. It's a dark seer now. You guys are banning out a lot of aggressive heroes. Was aggressive just one of those people you determined, okay, we need to keep this guy down?
Yeah, I mean, he had his signature heroes, and it seemed like whenever they had those type of heroes like PL, Ember, something he could get really aggressive with, they played better. So we just banned him out.
But CDEC is banning out Darkseer for you. Do you think you were also targeted by them? Or
yeah,
what did you guys think?
I mean, I don't think we played Darkseer very much at this tournament at all. I think it was just like they kind of knew it was me, and they knew that I might want to play Darkseer.
Right.
But we didn't. I don't think we wanted it at all. So that was kind of a nice ban for us.
All right. So we're gonna fast forward right now. I'm gonna go through the draft, and we're gonna see some footage of the teams going up. And right now you're in the draft booth. You're in the booth.
Mm-hmm.
The draft's going on. What's it like drafting for the final day of a tournament? I know I've seen you guys play with Fnatic. You're usually huddled around one chair, but here you guys look like you're very calm. What goes on in your head? Like you're about to start a game. Is the draft section also as tense as actual playing?
No, it's not as tense as playing, but maybe the drafter, like Peter, would beg to differ, because I mean, it can be pretty stressful, like when you're thinking and you have to think on the spot, and there's actually not that much time to think about which heroes you should pick. So I mean, for me personally, I was like on this team, I was only thinking about my own hero basically, so it wasn't that stressful for me. I was just constantly thinking about what I should be playing, and yeah.
Let us in on that, by the way. Let us in on like what would typically happen when you're drafting, because a lot of people who watch the games, who talk about the games on Reddit and whatever, they go like, oh, they lost in the draft. Does that actually happen like when you're in the situation? Do you go like you're drafting with your team, and then you look at your final draft, and you go like, we've lost?
we never say that, like even if you feel like, oh shit, like our draft is not great right now, but we always have to try and find a way to win, even if we don't think our draft is ideal, because there's going to be games where you get outdrafted. Like you're never going to have the better draft every game. It's just not possible. But there definitely are games where you look at the draft and you're like, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough, yeah.
Right. But you have to play through it still.
Yeah, for sure. And you should never say that.
Yeah, because you're gonna psych out your own team.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So right now, it's the Earthshaker has been picked, and little does CDEC know they're gonna be part of a sound clip. But we will fast forward to the actual game now. So CDEC picking out the Dragon Knight to round them out. They're going to start the game. So what do you remember specifically with this game? Do you still remember it at all? Is it like, you hear those, those sports guys sort of reliving the big game? Is this one of those things?
Yeah, no, I don't remember much of it, but now that I'm looking at it, I can see that I think this is like the first time that anyone ever TP'd to ward, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like now you can't TP because of the TP cooldown. Yeah. But here, Aoi told me actually that I should TP here. And then no one else is really going to do this. Like no one even thought about doing this at the time. But I TP'd and then I placed a ward here and a sentry here, so they can't pull these camps. And I'll always be able to get experience as Shaker because I'm pulling the wave back, right?
So for everyone watching, we're about when we point that out, it's about 19 seconds before the start of the match, right? And then you TP into it, you place down those two strategic wards over there. And so TI5 you guys sort of pioneered that. Were you the only ones doing it at the tournament? Do you remember?
I can't remember if we were the only ones doing it, but it was definitely new at the time.
All right. So the rest of the game here will play out AUI 2000 over here, just zoning out, ganking for Sumail. It'll be a meme later on in their careers, Remember when I ganked for you in TI? Do you still, because I know right now, AOI is in different teams, Sumail's in different team. Do you guys still talk a lot? Do you guys still hang out?
I don't talk that much to them right now.
Everyone's busy, right?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's busy and we're all competitors at the moment, so it's kind of hard to. But, I mean, I still like both of them. I don't have anything personal against them.
All right, so we're going to go through this game. Over here in the top lane, there's a sort of a tri-lane forming over here because you were on Earthshaker. How did you feel this game? Did you feel like you were targeted in the lane? How was your laning setup like with Peter? Because I know for competitive Dota, right, sometimes you have obviously you'd want to win all of your lanes.
Right.
But sometimes you have, okay, this lane is designed to lose so that we can get ahead on Sumail's lane. Was that always going to be EG's game plan just because Sumail was on fire?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of felt like when Sumail got his heroes and he got help, like he wasn't completely shut down, he just, at the time, he just took over the game. So we really wanted to make sure that happened. And to make that happen, I usually played these heroes that could get stuff on their own, that would need like no help, you know. So Clock, Tuskar, and Shaker were big at that time for us because I could just go there, I could get experience by pulling the creep wave back, and then they could focus on their other 2 lanes.
Right.
We mostly played around Sumail and Aoi on this team. I want to say.
That's not unlike what some teams are doing right now. Like if you look at something like Liquid, right? They play around either GH or Miracle, right? Do you think that was just because of what was going on with the patch? Because I know this was also the rubber band patch, right?
Yeah.
So did you feel like you guys had a big bonus just because of how Dota was being played at the time, or you guys just figured it out faster than everyone else?
Maybe I think it was a little bit of both because honestly I think this team kind of has to play this way. I think like the way Aoi plays 4 and the way Sumail plays mid, just like the way the team was set up, it made sense to play around those 2 players.
Right. So it wasn't really just the patch, but it definitely helped.
Yeah, I think the way the patch was, it helped. But I think this is just how we played.
Alright, so right now, EG and CDEC, around 3 minutes in, and you can see, the Naga Siren is going to start stacking just for the stuff that he can farm up later on. So with the CDEC, how did you feel about CDEC being your finals opponent? Were you guys intimidated at all when they got in?
It was just surprising, man. Like we scrimmed them before, like they were a wildcard team coming into TI. Right. We scrimmed them. We just absolutely crushed them. Like every single scrim we played against them, and we didn't even think they were going to make it out of the wild card because of how bad they looked in scrims. Right. And then they made it out of the wild card, and we played them in the upper bracket winter finals. Right. And we were like, oh man, this is like a dream come true, man.
right. We're into the final day.
Yeah,
and
but
then somehow.
Yeah, they figured out a lot during the tournament. They changed a lot throughout the tournament.
Right, and I think that Shiki would become one of those people who are known as, okay, well Shiki's in this tournament now. We're not sure how that happened, but he's in the final day. But do you think like they learned more from you than you learned from them?
During the scrims?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, normally I think how it goes is when you lose scrims, even though it sucks to lose scrims, and as long as it doesn't kill your psyche, I think you learn more when you lose, actually. Just because you start thinking about the game and you're just like, like why did we lose? But if you win, you're just like, there's like a natural tendency to just be like, like what we did was good.
Right. You overvalue the win sometimes, right? Just not even, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to do it on purpose, just the way it affects your mind.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, so we're going to fast forward here a little bit. And we're going to see the start of the team fights now. We're around 9 minutes in. You guys, Universe taking out XZ here on the clockwork. Bit of a KSer. But how are you guys feeling here? Because you guys started taking the fights way earlier than I think CDEC even thought you guys were going to take it, because they were hard pushing your lane first.
Yeah.
So who makes the calls on EG for you guys to do stuff like this? Are you guys the kind of team that has like one shot caller making the calls?
No, on this team it was mostly Fear and Peter making the calls, the game calls, I think. Like of course, like I would make gank calls, or like anyone would make calls on this team. It wasn't just one person.
Right.
But the overall game calls, I would say, were mostly made by Fear and Peter.
I think that's something that not a lot of people, especially when the audience, they look at these games, they don't really appreciate that. They think like, okay, he's the captain, right? Obviously, he's the one just talking all the time. But for competitive Dota, you guys all tend to talk, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a team game. If like your offlaner has a blink dagger and he wants to make a play, maybe he'll make a call, you know. If
cooldowns at least.
Yeah, stuff like
who's
that.
Missing.
Yeah, I mean, there's like constant dialogue.
All right, well, we're going to CDC missing that on the Naga, just walking by, and we're going to go here, and we're going to set up just a little bit forward, because right now, you guys are squarely ahead with a lot of the stacks, but towards this area right here, and I'm talking about, where am I? All right. 28 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys are ahead by 7. The push, though, is a little bit on the side of CDEC. They're getting the objective, so you guys are at least equalizing in goal. The aggressive is catching up to Fear on the gyrocopter.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a big play that's going to happen here.
Okay.
Talk me through what happened. CDEC is going to go for a Roshan play.
All right. I mean, first they get a pick on Sumail here.
Right. So they're going to pick up Sumail.
He,
Boom.
Yeah, that was a quick.
Were you guys screaming at each other?
No.
This was very calm. This was still
Yeah,
very calm.
I mean, this team was extremely calm. Like whenever anyone made a mistake, we just always move forward. You know, it's like someone dies. Oh, what are we gonna do next? And then I think we had a ward on them that saw them kind of moving towards the pit.
There we go. So here's one of the best sound bites in all of Dota. 29 minutes in, the Roshan take is happening. PPD goes in,
Drops
sees
the
everyone.
vortex.
Kablam.
Yep.
How did you feel that?
I mean, it was a great moment, man. Like whenever you make a huge play and the crowd screams, it's gets your adrenaline pumping, you know. So this is one of the best.
One of your top 10 moments for you.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Easily.
for sure. There was also another one at TI4 when I was playing Void, which was
Oh,
maybe
right,
even
right,
better
right.
actually, because it was the very first time I think I made a huge play like that on.
I think that
big
was
stage.
one of those times when you did say, describe Universe underrated. I think that was
Yeah.
one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So, I mean, this is history right here, and you would go on to snowball into mid, take a lane, and then from there CDEC just.
Yeah, I mean, after that happened, I think the game was basically ours to lose. Like, if we messed up, then they could win, but if we didn't mess up, we were just going to take it. Yeah.
Well, how were you guys when the play happened?
I think everyone was still pretty calm. Like I made some noise, like I yelled or something like that,
Right.
because I was super pumped, and then Sumail just laughed. And
You just laughed, right? Like,
Yeah,
they're all
because-
dead.
Yeah, because I mean, normally we don't show a lot of emotion. Yeah. But when that happened, I definitely did, because I felt like we were going to win at that point.
All right. So we're gonna move on from this game, but before I end with this game, any final thoughts on TI5? Well, how was the impact like on your career? Any kind of strategy you want to talk about? Anything at all?
It was just a great tournament, man. It was just a great tournament, best tournament ever.
Yeah, it was a great year for you guys.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it all started at DAC, which is the game we're going to move to, by the way. So right now, we're going to move with our amazing technology over here. See, it's a Bluetooth mouse right there. We're gonna move to DAC. So it's EG versus Vici Gaming. Now these were 3 games. You guys put them away in a sweep.
Okay.
Is there any particular game that stands out to you from that time?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely remember the last game.
The last
I was playing Zeus. I didn't have the greatest game, but it was it stood out because it was like Sumail and me made some pretty cool plays that game. That's what stands out for me, is because he told me to Zeus ult, and then like he was playing Storm, right?
Right.
So he told me to Zeus ult, and then he would see the supports if they were all missing. He would see the supports, Zeus ult, he sees the support, and he would jump on him and kill him.
Right.
So that's what stood out for me in that game.
So right now we're in the draft, and EG, you guys are banning out the Vengeful Spirit. They're gonna ban out the Chen. Let's move a little forward in the draft. So EG, you guys will. Okay, so here we are. Final lineup. EG, you guys have Earthshaker, Enigma, Juggernaut, Storm Spirit, and Zeus. Meanwhile, Vici would have Shadow Fiend, Clockwork, Witch Doctor, Terrorblade, and finally, who did they pick here? I'm trying to remember. 6 seconds.
Oh man, I'm like, let's see if I can remember this one. I have no idea.
Okay, all right, I was completely random. I was completely off there. So, when you guys saw this, what made you guys, because you last picked the Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
Why the Zeus thing?
We picked Zeus for Terrorblade, because Zeus is a Terrorblade counter.
Right, just because he has high armor but really low base HP. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean he has low HP, and Zeus's spells just cut through him, and you can do it from like a far distance. You know, kill all his illusions. magic spells do increase damage to illusions.
Right, right. So EG versus Vici Gaming, we're gonna take a look at some of the plays. Is there any particular moment that stands out for you here, or is it really more of like how the game played out?
I mean, it's more towards the end, I think, where like I Zeus ulti and then Sumail, if you can find that. I don't even know if you can find it, but.
Well, right here, you guys are up 20 at 26 minutes in. So I'm pretty sure that happened a little bit before that. FY is hiding over there. You don't have Zeus. Well, let's look for one where you have Zeus ult up.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Alright, so you guys have Zeus ult up. Sumail dies here. Vici's going for the racks.
He's going to buy back probably. I don't know. Yeah, we bought back.
Ooh, there you go. Cut right through him. He buys back, and they're all dead.
The alley hole.
Ooh. So this was the first tournament that you guys played with Sumail, correct? This is the first LAN?
No, we played D2L in Las Vegas.
Right.
Before.
But this was the first win for him.
Yeah,
like sort of a major.
This is his first one.
So talk to me about like when did you sort of, how did that feel? Like you win this first big tournament. This was a Chinese tournament. How did that feel, like winning a LAN in China? Because I know that's one of those things that's a big deal for like some pros, because you win in China. Obviously, it's a big Dota country.
This is my first big win of my career, I think, for sure. I mean, I guess I've only won 2 really big ones, the DAC and TI.
Right. So what made this like really big for you?
Just like the prize pool and the format of the tournament. Like all the best teams were there, and then it was like a $3 million tournament. There had never been a bigger tournament. Like I think this was like the first unofficial major.
Right.
It wasn't actually like a Valve event, but the prize pool was the same as the majors, and this is kind of what inspired Valve to make the majors.
Right.
So
obviously Shanghai would happen later on, but that's not something we're talking about right now.
So I mean, in my eyes, this was my first big win. Yeah.
Alright. So this is also over here, and I want to talk to you about how you see yourself in comparison to other offlaners. Right. So obviously in this game, Vici Gaming, they have Ice, and Ice is widely loved as a character in professional Dota.
Yeah.
Do you get along with Ice? Or you talk to him?
Yeah, I mean, I don't talk. I talk to him now and then, like when I see him at events and stuff. He's a nice guy.
Right.
Yeah, I like him.
You like him? Is he the kind of person you think, oh wait, this guy should be fun to have a few drinks with?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, he is.
Because he's a character.
He's a chill guy, and he's obviously a character. I talked to him a bit at TI6 after party, I think.
Right.
Yeah, he's friends with my girlfriend actually, because they're both Singaporean.
Right.
Yeah.
So is he one of those people who are like, he's easy to talk shop with, or do you just talk to him like casual?
Yeah, you just shoot the shit, man.
Right. Okay. So it's anything.
We play the same role, right? So there's nothing to talk shop about.
Right. So that's the thing, though. That's what I kind of want to talk to you about. Like, in how do you see yourself among other offlaners? Obviously, Ice is the other big one, and the other one is maybe S4. Talk to me about that. Like, among offlaners, is there anyone you find like you look up to, or you learn from a lot, or you talk to a lot? Anyone at all?
I don't really look up to anyone right now. I haven't really looked up to anyone because I've just kind of done my own thing. Right. I watch replays of a lot. Like last year, I watched a lot of S4 replays just because I thought that he was doing a good job in the offlane that year. It just varies from year to year, you know. If I find someone that I think is doing something new, I'll look at them and try and learn from them.
Right. But do you feel like though that when it comes to that, because obviously you're known as the big ulti offlaner, you know, you pulled a lot of those in your career, but again, you sort of went through that phase where you think, I don't know, was that also just part of a character? Were you just sort of bantering with people when you said you thought people still think you're underrated?
When?
Yeah, that was around TI4, right?
Oh, TI4?
Yeah.
No, I was definitely underrated around TI4. I hadn't won anything, man.
Right, that's true though. But do you think that still carried on though? Like, people still tend to underrate.
After TI4, I don't think I was underrated anymore. I think people
appropriate amount of
appropriate amount of rating, yeah.
Right.
But yeah.
Is there any player though that you kind of look at as a nemesis? Like this person just like going up against them, no matter what team they're on, they just kind of have your number. Is there anyone like that for you?
Kind of have my number.
Yeah.
It's not really an offlaner, honestly, but
yeah, sure.
whenever whenever I play against Miracle, sometimes things tend to go poorly. For whatever reason, I don't know.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, things just tend to not go exactly how I want them to go.
Is that against him in lane, or just if he's in the game across from you guys?
Just, I mean, recently. It hasn't been like my entire career or anything like that,
Yeah,
but just like when he started playing in Liquid, I think.
Right.
Yeah, it's been kind of like that.
Right. So we're gonna wrap this up here for DAC. We're going to go jump into. I hope we got. There you go. We actually did get the closing of this, and Bruno in his colorful shirt. There's Ben who has retired from casting now. EG has won. Talk to me about the ceremony. They had a sword, an actual sword.
That's a Radiance right there, yeah.
That's a Radiance right there. Oh, how was it? Like, just lifting that up and winning an event in China. I mean.
Oh, it was great, man. It was funny to see Sumel interview as well. He used to be such a shy kid, and this is him kind of coming out of his shell right now.
So you didn't expect him to be like to say something cocky like that on stage at all?
I didn't expect him to say it on stage, but I know he's cocky, and I knew he was cocky when I first started playing with him.
Right. But then this is you get it surprised you guys that he'd actually say it out loud.
Yeah, that was surprising to me. It was pretty funny.
And I mean he made a lot of fans, and right now
right
now he's made a lot of people on Reddit go like, oh lol, Omega lol, right?
Yeah. No, he made a ton of fans when he said that on stage. China fans. Yeah. And then he lost a bit of them, and and now he's back.
Well, that's just how it goes, right? So you guys are here. Obviously, Fear is gonna go up and raise. I say size, wasn't it? There you go.
It was.
There you go, and the Radiance.
There it is.
There you go. Who kept that sword, by the way?
I actually don't know. I don't know who has it right now. Maybe DAC still has it.
Right. Do you take any memorabilia from tournaments, or
like trophies? No, normally.
Or anything at all?
Sometimes they give us little gifts. Like I know MDL gave us something, like a fan or something. I think I have it still.
A fan?
Like a you know. Like
okay. I thought like a rotary fan, like for your room or something.
No,
weird.
Just like a handmade fan.
Right. Okay.
Just like little stuff like that. I got a medal from Manila Masters.
Oh,
I still have that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I keep it if they give it to me.
I mean that was one of those. That was the last sort of tournament you had here in the Philippines, right? Manila Masters with Crit and everyone.
Yes.
Right.
I think that was the last one.
Right. That was the last one. 2017. So we're gonna wrap up here now. Fear is gonna bring the Radiance with him. That's just funny looking, by the way. Who kept the Aegis though from TI5? Is that?
Oh, I mean, like there's like a certain kind of like replica they give
to everyone.
No, they give us rings.
Oh, they give us rings.
Yeah. They
so you have a ring.
I have a ring from
TI5.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like a Heisman ring, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So right now we're going to go to our last clip. This one is gonna be a little personal bias from me.
Okay.
Because my favorite team of all time is DK.
Okay.
And this is the Summit land, the very, very first Summit land.
Right.
And you guys defeated DK.
Right, yeah.
This is TI4. So we have 2 games here. Game 1, Game 2. Which one would you prefer to look at?
Oh, man, I don't even remember. It's such a long time ago. We can look at Game 2. Sure.
All right, let's go to Game 2. All right. So this is the Summit land, grand final.
It was a best of 5, though, wasn't it?
I think it was a best.
I think it was a best of 5. Yeah,
it was a best of 5.
I hope we didn't lose this one, actually.
Yeah. Let's take a look though. But over here, you can see LD together with No Tail and Flies.
Oh, this is the beginning of So Smart.
Right.
Yep.
Right. This is so do you remember anything? So this was the first Summit ever. How did you guys feel when they came up to you with this concept? You know, just come in over to the house. We'll have a tournament. Sit down.
No, the first Summit was great. I think.
Was that your favorite?
My favorite Summit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Just because it was like it was with the new team. We were just like a bunch of boys, you know, just like super new, like just playing the game, having fun, and it was a new tournament, new kind of relaxed vibe to it.
Right.
No, it was fresh. I liked it.
It was fresh. I think that's one of those things because right now, obviously, the Summit is such a big, a big tournament every year that people kind of expect it now. It's kind of hard to top itself. which is weird because it's supposed to be just relaxed and laid back.
Yeah.
So how did you feel when they told you about it? Like, this is gonna be a house.
Oh, I mean, we were skeptical. like we didn't want to be on camera all the time, you know.
Oh,
like when we were
right.
just going down to eat and stuff. Like there was like, oh, I think this one. Oh, yeah. There would be cameras. We were told it was like completely new, right? So we were just like, oh, is there going to be like no time where we're off camera? Like.
Right. Because you'd feel insecure,
Yeah,
like you don't want to fuck up in front of the camera.
Yeah, I just don't want to like do something weird, you know. But
after a while,
it's not a big deal because then you leave the house and you go back to the hotel and.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So the game over here, like in Tidehunter, picks for EG, Doom and Axe. You played with Mason though, in this tournament.
Yeah, because Fear had an injury prior to this tournament, and he was our coach.
So talk to me about that. How is playing with Fear? Like, what's your relationship with Fear? Because he went from you were playing with him a lot, and then he got injured. He became your coach. Then came back. You guys won TI together.
Right.
What's he like? What is Coach Fear different from teammate Fear?
Yeah, I think everyone is different as a coach than they are as a player. There's like a different level of investment, you know. Like when you're playing as a player, you're more invested in the game and you're very like into it. But as a coach, sometimes a player feels less investment, and that in turn makes them do less, maybe. And that's true for some players. I think it might be true for me as well. I'm not sure, but I think it's true for him as well.
So what are you saying? Are you even considering at all being a coach ever at all?
I think it's unlikely, but like being like a coach in the traditional sense for a team,
right?
It's unlikely. I won't rule it out completely,
right?
But it's unlikely.
Right. But you prefer competing?
Yeah, I prefer competing or.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I won't rule it out, but
right.
I'm just. Yeah.
Right. That's fine. So I'm not entirely sure actually how this one ends. This was a clip that we put in at the last moment. So EG right now it's 30 seconds in. Mason lands the arrow.
Mason got bottom.
There you go. Universe Tidehunter with the first
Yeah,
blood.
Take the first blood.
There you go. Tidehunter. Is there any favorite hero for you? Because I know people sort of equate you with Faceless Void.
Yeah.
They equate you with Darkseer. But are those your actual favorites?
I mean, my favorite hero is Shadow Fiend.
Shadow Fiend?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's the most fun hero for me, at least.
Right. Shadow Fiend off lane, when's that going to happen?
Nah, probably never,
Never,
man.
ever,
Probably
never ever going to happen.
Probably never, man.
Right.
Sad days.
So, oh God, Mason lands another arrow here, and Momoya,
Jeez.
Weapon X.
Out of control.
Where is Momoya now?
I'm not sure. I think he's probably streaming or something. Like all those Chinese players stream and make tons of money, right?
That's true. That's true.
That's how it works.
Do you think you'd ever going to go that route, by the way?
Streaming.
Streaming, making the big bucks with Twitch. Breaking 386 viewers, 386,000 viewers.
Nah, I'll say probably not again, but I won't rule out, like, I mean, I'll probably stream once I'm done playing just for fun.
Right.
But I think I'll be more of like a casual streamer. I don't think I'll be like
very laid back.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be like, you're not gonna wear like a Kevlar vest. Or
No.
Not like Big Brother Tyler.
No. Oh, Tyler won?
Tyler won.
Yeah, I've watched him.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's something that's interesting for me, by the way. Do you play other games?
I don't really play other games right now. I have played CS:GO,
right?
Just for fun. I was pretty bad at it. I'm not gonna lie. But
you gotta give me a rank, like an actual.
Oh, I was silver.
All right. Okay. Even I'm MG. Jeez. Okay.
But
that's just humble brag.
Yeah. Right. I didn't play for very long, but I should have been higher than that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, was it one of those games you just play on your off time?
Yeah, I mean, it was after TI. I was just kind of taking a break from Dota, just having some fun playing CS:GO.
How about Overthrow, the Dota arcade games?
Overthrow, yeah. I mean, that's kind of like Dota, though, right?
Right, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
I played Hearthstone for a very small amount of time.
Very small, yeah.
Because I like card games like Magic and stuff.
Oh, we're off camera. We're gonna talk about Magic a lot because that's card.
I mean, I haven't played Magic, but I like.
Yeah.
I like that kind of game.
That kind of game. Yeah.
So I'm excited for Artifact as well.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Are you excited for it?
Again, dude, I play cardboard crack.
Oh, okay.
Magic together. They just turned it into digital. But that's something we can talk about later on. But if Artifact comes down, you guys heard it here first. Universe is gonna be a pro player. There you go. But over here, EG once again going on burning and well, now Burning's running after you guys.
Right.
That's kind of awkward. I'll talk to you now about your relationship with Peter. How's Peter as a captain?
He's very. He likes to do things his way, you know.
Right.
That means usually, like, being able to have big team fights and being able to fight and taking fights in a very methodical way. Right. He likes to make the game very simple,
right.
which can get people on the same page very easily. Yeah.
Right. So he sort of breaks down. Okay, this is what needs to happen. We need to do this now.
Yeah, I mean, playing with him was pretty comfortable because it was just like he kind of laid out the game plan, and then it would just be up to you to kind of like make it work. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So he's not. He doesn't exactly micro everything down to the really fine details.
He doesn't micromanage. I mean, yeah. Yeah, he doesn't really micromanage.
Right. But people have this sort of concept of PPD. Well, obviously, the first concept is the Salt Lord. But they also have this sort of concept of PPD where he's kind of a draft genius or a theory genius, you know, a genius of the theory of the game. Mm-hmm. Is there any truth to that at all, or is that more of like myth or whatever?
I mean, I tend to be skeptical of all those things where it's like this guy is like completely just like a mastermind. Yeah, I'm never about that because right. I know. I mean, I was on these teams and I know that we drafted as a team. Right. And I know that if one person drafts, just any one person in all of Dota, I don't think they will ever be able to make like game-winning drafts over and over again. It's like it's a team thing.
Right, there you go. Well, that's one of those things that need to be debunked, though, right? Because people keep thinking, oh, this is a Kuro draft, or this is like.
Oh, I mean, drafters definitely have their own style of things that they like, right. You know. But I think
it's not
it's not all one person. I really don't think it's ever one person.
Right. In any team, you're saying?
No, I don't think it is. I mean, there might be like one or two or three people doing
stronger voices.
Yeah, stronger voices. Like maybe it's not like everyone like contributing everything, but I think there will always be multiple heads working on it.
Right. Yeah. So as we go out on this one, DKEG playing on in the background, I want to ask you just a few more questions about yourself. So right now, you are playing in Malaysia. Yeah. Did you ever see yourself just here now, TI5 Champion Universe, underrated offlaner to now appropriately rated offlaner? Did you ever find yourself playing out in Asia for Dota?
I never thought I would do this ever in my career. I thought I would always be in America, playing for an American team.
Right. But how's it been so far?
It's been fine. It's just I've had a bit of trouble getting adjusted to the food a little bit.
Right.
Because I don't know, I'm just used to American portion sizes and everything.
American portions. That's going to be particularly hard, I think, out here in Asia, right?
But, you know, it's been fine. Other than that, I mean, I guess it's because we stay inside and play Dota all day. It's like mostly the same as in America, but
it's the same sort of base environment that you have.
Yeah.
How about your teammates? I mean, I know you've played with a lot of these guys in the past. You were in Secret with
Pi and Envy.
Mm-hmm. How's it been playing with them again?
It's been fine. It's like just picking up from where we left off, I guess. And no surprises between those two.
Right.
I guess
no surprises between those two. We are talking about Envy.
I mean, I know what I'm getting.
Oh, okay, right. It's an appropriate amount of surprise is what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, I know what I'm getting into here, but it's just you just have to keep working at it.
But how about Abed and DJ? You've never played with them before.
Never played with them. I knew they were high school players, and that's why I wanted to play on this team, because I know what I'm getting with Envy and Pi, and I know DJ and Abed are high school players. So I'm just hoping we can put it all together come TI.
I mean, we're going to see. Once again, when this comes out, we are going to compare the results of that. That should be fun.
Yeah.
But anything else, though? Like, just looking back through all these games, did you sort of get any sort of realization? Has the game changed for offlaner or for you specifically? Anything at all?
Oh, like since here?
Yeah, since the games that we saw. You know?
Yeah, I mean, the offlane's changed a lot over the years. Just like the way the creeps meet, where they meet, you can drag the wave now. It's like a new thing. It's changed so much. There's bounty runes in the offlane shrines. I can't even think of all the changes.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like we were talking about, I think before we started recording, right? Like, you have new patches now coming in every 2 weeks, and while this one, the most recent one, doesn't really affect you.
Maybe the next one will.
Maybe next one will.
Yeah.
How about for you though? Like, how do you think you're going to stay as an offlaner your entire career? Because I know in Dota, it's not like in other like esports, right? Your roles can change over time. We've seen people go from core positions to support positions.
Right.
How about for you?
I think in all likelihood I will stay offlane for the rest of my career, but I won't rule out the possibility of potentially changing.
Mid player Shadow Fiend. Only.
Mid is the least likely.
Mid is the least likely.
For that change.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I won't rule out the possibility, but I think it's unlikely.
All right, well, there you go. Any parting words to anyone at all, or fans, or?
Thanks for setting this up for us.
People don't need to know.
People don't need to know. All right.
Fine. I may or may not have helped you guys get set up for your bootcamp.
Yeah. So. And you know, shout out to all the fans here in Malaysia. I hope you're not too mad about about what happened.
Right.
It wasn't my intention.
It wasn't mine. Yeah.
Dota's brutal sometimes, but yeah, just thanks to all the fans here, and we hope to win for you guys in the future.
All right, sounds good. So once again, Sahil, Universe Aurora, for the first episode of Film Room. We got a TI champ in here. It took a lot, but we got him in. Thanks a lot, buddy.
All right, thank you.
All right. We'll see you next time.